Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Silicon Sounds, audio for the rest of us. Excuse my voice, I have a slight cold, but enjoyment of music must continue. Today, I have the distinct pleasure of reviewing the Xenns Mangrid Top Pro. I'd like to title this review as Having Your Cake and Eating It Too. Xenns Mangrid is a celebrated brand that is known to make very high quality in-ear monitors. My previous experience with one of their products was with the Xenns Mangrid Up. The experience was overwhelmingly positive, and as such, I did have some high expectations prior to listening to the Top Pro. That being said, I tried to temper them as much as possible in order not to skew, or whether it's positively or negatively, my actual interaction with them. Let's give you a quick look at them. Hopefully it'll focus. Beautifully exquisite shells, really nicely done. The quality of manufacturers I'll get to in a bit, I should say, is quite stunning. Well, let's continue. The $715 Top Pro is an ambitious release by any regards or any stick of measurement. It's a 10-driver hybrid IEM, and the manufacturer is definitely not shy about detailing the origin of the individual driver components, all being of high-quality Knowles and Sonion sourced components, except for the dynamic drivers, which are listed as custom. The tuning is of one of great technicalities while still keeping a high level of musicality. This is a very resolving set. I would classify the overall sound signature as W-shaped, leaning towards neutral bright. But really, that's an oversimplification of what I've heard. I have to point out that I am sometimes uncomfortable with classifying the sound signature using just a few words. But I understand that the reader or the listener in this regard for this video really wants at least some point of reference. The Top Pro is easy to drive, and I would recommend a high quality source that is neutral to slightly warm in order to achieve the best synergy. The Top Pro is, as I mentioned before, a highly resolving set, and as such really deserves to be driven by a capable source, but can still be enjoyed even driven from a quality dongle, for example, like the EPZ TP35 or something of that like. One, though, must not overlook tip selection. With such a resolving set, it becomes important, or even more so with respect to tips, although the shape for me lended itself well to comfort and whatnot. Tips are definitely required to get a good seal, a nice firm but comfortable fit. I opted for a short-stemmed, wide-bore tip. So let's talk about the specs. Driver. Dual custom dynamic drivers with ND FEB magnets. 2 custom Knowles balanced armature drivers. 2 Sonion E50D balanced armature drivers. And 1 Knowles super tweeter. Frequency response is 20 to 33 kilohertz. Impedance, 16 ohms. Sensitivity, 103 dB, plus or minus 1 decibel. The connector, as we can see here, is the traditional 2-pin 0.78 millimeter. So go crazy with the cables. Although the one it comes with is actually quite good. And the termination, of course, as I showed before. Now, the cable I have is from Xenns, which I'll show you in a second, is convertible. You can either use it as a 3.5 millimeter tip or 4.4 millimeter balanced. So build and fit. Beautiful design with flawless execution of manufacture with the shells. Seamless, can't feel any kind of seams whatsoever. You look for them, you think you see one, and you feel for it. It's not even there. Great manufacture of the shells. Resin is done fantastically. Love the inserts for the caps. It has some, if you can see it, light branding there, or a symbol at least. Really nicely done. Build quality is exemplary. Comfort and fit is excellent. Tip selection, though, makes a big difference. Cable. Let's move these aside. The cable, as I have right here on my table, is definitely of high quality. Not exceptionally over the top, different from, let's say, the DD Hi-Fi cables, but one that is not a throwaway. As alluded to before, said before, it does have a tip selection. You can take that off. So you can, this one has the 4.4 millimeter, which I listen to 90% of the time, but you can select the 3.5. It is a 2-pin cable, as can see the pins here, and the color coded so that you know red is right and the other one will be left. Haptics are good. Doesn't tend to kink up that much. When it does, you just pull it, boom, it's open once again. Really good quality cable. In terms of the carrying case, I'll pull that out right now. Hopefully it can fit in the frame. Definitely high quality with branding right here. I can open up the case to show you the inside. Definitely larger than your typical case. Not something I would feel comfortable carrying in my pocket, but still good. It has the additional tips here. Some nice fluffy bag for the iems themselves, a cover for the tip that I was using, and so on and so forth. Really nice case. Again, not necessarily something you want to fit in your typical pocket, but that's okay. Let's continue. Sound. This is what it's all about, folks. The bass has excellent control, is tight and clean with deep extension, but it's a chameleon bass. It's a chameleon. There is sub-bass over mid-bass prominence here, but not enough to spoil the balance. The mid-bass is notably clean, great speed and snap, though slightly thinner than the deepest bass. Sub-bass is also very present when called for in the music, powerful when called upon. It's a chameleon. It comes out when it's asked for in the music. This is not a lean sounding system, nor is it a bass head per se. It is just a clean sound which presents itself when needed with all the power and force, and just like a delicious organic delivery to the bass here. Bass detail is notable and does not bleed into the mid-range. The bass texturing is also quite apparent and notable. Mid-range. This might be the crown jewel of an IEM that wears many jewels. Exceptionally clear and detailed mid-range. From the get-go, this is what you're going to notice. You pop these in your ear, whether it's a vocal track or even instrumental, the mid-range is open, clean, and clear. Detail retrieval is notable with a mix of macro and micro details heard. The mid-range, though, does have a touch of warmth, just a touch. Vocals, though, are exceptionally clean, like super clean. Lively mid-range presentation, but no harshness. Does better on well-recorded tracks. Pleasing timbre and texture with an overall richness to the sound. There is an audible pinna gain, but it is controlled and there's no harshness. I believe the peak of it is pushed really outside of that region where it would be considered harsh, so it's done really well. Note weight and density are good. Not class leading, but quite good. This leads to timbre and texturing that is more than pleasing. Music sounds like music. Instruments sound like instruments. Layering and separation here are excellent. Transients exhibit a sharp, rapid attack and natural decay. Overall, the mid-range clarity is outstanding, again, in particular for vocals, but all around, definitely outstanding. Treble. Treble has great extension. The treble is somewhat boosted, yet it's smooth presentation with ample sparkle and air, and while detail retrieval is very good, there is a liveliness to the treble here, but it never gets irritating. It's done so well. The treble is quite articulate. Treble adds lots of spaciousness to the tracks. Treble sensitive folks may take exception though, but the high end sings, man. If you're going to listen to these, the treble really, the detail, when it comes to transients, when it comes to harmonics of instruments that might have had their first initial note in the mids and harmonics going up into the treble, it's really cohesive, a nice, cohesive, lively, yet detailed sound. Detailed not at the expense of being musical and natural. Really walked a fine line here, Xenns Mangrid with the Top Pro. The relaying of treble nuances and texturing is standout here. So let's bring it all together with respect to the sound, and I get into detail here. The Xenns Mangrid Top Pro is an exceptional performer. Absolutely. From its deceptively powerful bass to its beautifully detailed mid-range and treble, the Top Pro definitely satisfies. For example, I was listening to a track from a pristinely recorded DSD file. The track is called Exchange by Frederick Allery. The album is called Mega Bass. You should check that out. I was more than impressed with how complete the sound was. It just sounded like music, as replayed by the Xenns Mangrid Top Pro. The bass notes, with all their harmonics and texture, were right there for you to enjoy. You didn't have to wonder where they are. They're all there. The artist's low humming was also clearly audible, including the sound of their fingers sliding along the strings. Intoxicating, to say the least, yet still very involving. The Top Pro makes it all too easy to fall into the music, making being critical almost an act of defiance. Needing a good level of personal control to accomplish. Many times I'd be listening to music and fall into the trance of the music as opposed to being critical, knowing I wanted to review these. So that's what that's all about. It's a technically adept IEM, but it still projects a level of musicality that is more than pleasing. Quite often, iems or earphones that are hyper technical in terms of their ability to portray, let's just say, sound and make sure you hear everything in a track, have a certain essence of sterility to them. That is definitely not the Top Pro. Mangrid Xenns has walked a fine line here, and they've done it very well. Music just sounds like music. You will not only hear the vocalist breathing, but also experience the emotional delivery at the same time. Such is the allure of the Top Pro. It strives to give the listener everything in an unabridged but organic way. And in that regard, it succeeds very well. If I were to nitpick, and this wouldn't be a review unless I nitpicked, and believe me, it's small. I would have preferred a touch more mid-bass and lower mid-range density to the sound. Something that the previous Up had issues with as well, although the Top Pro is definitely an improvement on that. That being said, it is a small nitpick. The overall performance, though, of the Top Pro seemed to diminish the impact of those tiny nitpicks. Once you get pulled into the music, it all just seems to make sense irregardless. Imaging and soundstage. Here we have a moderately sized soundstage. This isn't a holographic sounding IEM. It's more intimate than expansive. Instrument placement is precise, well balanced between dimensions of length, width, and height. With height and depth, I should say. I'm not measuring a box, I'm measuring as oral space, so definitely depth, width, and height. Leading to a natural presentation of space. Notable instrument spacing, no doubt due in large part to its excellent layering and separation and speed. Layering and instrument separation are, once again, excellent. Let's do a versus. I don't have it with me, and I'm going by audio memory, which at the best of times is fickle, but this is what I remember. Let's compare the Xenns Top Pro to the Xenns Up. The Top Pro offers greater density and richness of sound, in particular in the mid-range. Bass response is actually good on both, but superior in drive and organics with the Top Pro. In the treble, it really is a toss-up. Both of them do fantastically well in the treble. Each is blessed with clarity and excellent detail retrieval. Although I do prefer the sonics of the Top Pro, and particularly because of the added note density and improved richness of sound. So I think it's an evolutionary step forward, but definitely one that is superior. Conclusion. Xenns Mangrid has a clear winner with the Top Pro. On offer is a highly resolving sound with a heavy dose of musicality. The Top Pro is proof that you can never have to decide between one or the other. Here you can have your cake and eat it too. You can have all the technicalities, all the detail retrieval, all the precision of sound, and still have it being musical. From the exemplary build quality to a wonderfully enticing sound, the Xenns Mangrid Top Pro ticks all the boxes for a high-quality listening experience. This is a good one, folks. A really good one. Definitely worth the price. I've heard iems higher priced than this that do not perform up to this standard. It's really a good one. I want to thank you for spending time watching this video, the review of the Xenns Mangrid Top Pro. We asked you to like and subscribe, continue on our journey to grow the channel. This is Silicon Sounds. More videos to come. Audio for the rest of us. Take care, everyone.